Okay, so today we're going to do a full-length tutorial on building out some of the elements for the HubSpot happy hour tomorrow. So if you want to watch this, you can actually get a full tutorial on how to build an upsell, cross-sell funnel automated so that we're creating deals based on product potentials, likelihood to close, all of these things at close, making it easier for everybody to track. So I'm going to go ahead and make this video small and just jump back into the building. So I've already made some of my properties. What I'm doing right now is I'm creating, I'm on, still on number 1 in my list, which is creating all of the custom properties you need. So these are ones that we're creating for our own setup in HubSpot. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of these, or make some of these, I should say. All right. Going to use those in calculated properties later. All right, so we've got the build start date, and then we're going to go ahead and make the build end date. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and get our renewal date on here, if there is one. This will be for our long-term services, our SLAs, marketing, operations as a service, all of that fun stuff. All right. Have long-term services. It's going to be a single checkbox, yes or no. Okay. Create another property, interest in long-term services. And that's going to be a single checkbox, yes or no. Okay, so now we've got to create lists for some of our groups to make the next part work. So I'm going to go over here, create list, and this is going to be a, let's see, well, we want to contact contacts, but we also want companies, so we might make both. So I'm going to make a list for each individual hub our clients can have, each potential hub, combinations, likely combinations. And actually, I don't even need to do that because we can just, we could just use multiple lists for our workflow enrollment, saying somebody has to be on the marketing and sales hub list if we're checking to see what we have. And this is to make sure that in our marketing emails, we give people educational content and feature releases that are relevant to what they're using in HubSpot. So, okay, so we'll call this the Sales Hub Pro list. We're going to make it a static list so that we can use it in places that, like ad groups and such. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and save that list. Go back to list, and actually let me create a folder. Let's go to the folders. Let's create a new folder, and this is going to be our upsell, cross sell, renewal folder. So let's go ahead and create that, and then we're going to go back to our list, and we're going to move this into that folder. There we go. All right, so now we're going to go into that folder and we'll just make them from there. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and create a list, and it's going to be a static list. So we have Marketing Hub Pro. Going to go to next and save that list. All right, we're going to go back to list, and with lists, when you make them in the folder, it still doesn't go over there, so we actually have to move that. We can do them all at once though, so I'll do that. Let's go ahead and just create these lists. So we're going to go Service Hub Pro, static list, and I'll just go through a couple of these. Okay, and then these are all the things that I created as my values for potential hubs and potential services I need to create for lists now as well. So we're going to go with, no, we already did Service Hub Pro, Operations Hub Pro, and I'll just do the pro level of these, and then I'll move on, do a couple of services, and then we'll get going and create a list. And we're going to say CMS Hub Pro, static list. Okay, I don't know where our CMS is. Sometimes they take a while to show up. All right. All right, oh, then we'll go ahead and do this one. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and create some other lists. So we're just gonna do Marketing Hub Pro, onboarding. And I'm gonna grab this so I can copy this because we're gonna have several more lists that have that. Okay, and then we'll be ready to go once I get these other 5 lists made. So we've got, I should really shrink down my browser for doing this because it's a lot of real estate to cover. Got Service Hub Pro onboarding. And then we've got CMS Hub Pro onboarding. Okay, and then the last one I'm going to make real quick is Operation Hub Pro onboarding. All right, go ahead and make this list. Go over here. Now we've got number 2 covered, and while I know that we will certainly have other ones to make because we have a lot more services and a lot more hubs, this will cover us for now so that I can continue through this demo. Okay. All right, so now in step 3, we've got to create our pipeline. So we're going to go over to settings, and we're going to go over to objects. We'll go to deals. All right, and we actually already have pipeline here. So we're going to go ahead and have that. And then we also have our renewal pipeline here. So we're going to go ahead and use that. Okay, so that part's already done. We don't need to make the pipeline. So the next thing, all right, so the next thing we're going to do is make the calculated properties. So now we're going to go over to properties. So the calculated properties are going to help us do a couple of things. So we're going to set a calculated property that's going to give us the delta between when the build is set to complete and when the deal is likely to engage. And so we're going to go ahead and get that one done, and then we're going to do another calculated property as well. So let me go ahead and get started here. This is going to be a HubSpot account. That's our custom object, contract information. And this is going to be time between build ending and opportunity engaged. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a calculation. And for this calculation, we're going to do a time between. So the start is going to be the build end date, and future service is likely to engage. So now we're going to create that delta, and then we'll actually have a calculated property later, not right now. All right, so now we've got to create a deal and copy properties from the HubSpot account or the old deal to create the new deal, right? So what's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a workflow. And in that workflow, we're going to go ahead and we will, we're going to do a workflow based on our custom object, but you could do this based on deals and just log everything that I'm logging to our custom object to the deal record. So this is going to be step 5, which is to actually, we already have that. So I'm going to actually go back. We're not going to create a new workflow because I already started creating this. Creating a new deal. So our trigger is going to be that the HubSpot account has a date future services likely to engage is known. Okay, so we're going to do that first. And then what we're actually going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of a, we're going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a delay so that we give it time to make sure they can fill everything out on the account. So let's just give them 15 minutes. Okay, so here's something that we want to make sure of when we're creating these future opportunities. Like I had the properties on the HubSpot account record, so I'm going to want to copy those and actually have the same properties available on the deal record so we know what it is that someone's likely to purchase. Or another way we could do it is that you would have the deal record associated to the HubSpot account, and so since it would be associated to it, we could also just, go to that HubSpot account and see what the services are they're likely to need, because that's where we're supposed to be operating from for our clients. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a record, and we're going to create a deal. And we're going to go ahead and choose, we're going to copy properties to the deal property, right? So we're going to copy the future services likely to close. We're going to copy that to the close date of the property. Okay, so that's one of the things that we're going to do, right? So another thing that we probably need to do that I did not do yet is set up a property to go ahead. Let's go ahead and do that. So what I could do here is actually set up a property. So we have the estimated project amount for a future project. So let me go ahead and add that one. We're going to create a property and estimated future project amount. Okay, and that's going to be a number. All right, so that's great. Now we've got that set up. And something else we want to do while we're here is we actually want to go ahead and we're going to go to the HubSpot account settings, and we're actually going to do the record customization. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a sidebar. What I actually meant to do there was we're going to choose these properties. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. We're going to add a section, HubSpot contract information. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and grab all of these. Okay. Yep, and we're going to put those all on there, and then we're going to make this conditional. And we're going to set it to show, actually it'll show all the time. We're not going to make it conditional. But what I am going to do is I am going to move this up so that we have this up higher, right? So we want to move this contract information way up here, right under their management package. That looks great. Okay, so now we have that handled. I'm going to go back over here. So when we're looking to copy these properties on the deal record, I already chose the one that I wanted to copy. And so what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to keep the associations. Okay, so we're going to say, oh, we've already done one to the close date. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, and we're going to copy the amount to the amount. Let's go ahead and choose this. So it's going to be this is going to go into the cross-sell, upsell. This is going to be mutual opportunity identified. And the name is going to be future opportunity. And we're going to have their HubSpot account name. Okay. Close date we already mapped. And the deal type, this is going to be new business. We're going to assign it to the existing owner. We'll have the existing owner rather than the task. We're going to set the priority to medium. We're going to say HubSpot only. All right, let's go ahead and save this, and then we're going to do a refresh and get the property I just created for the amount. So then what we would do is we would take this estimated future project amount, tie that to the amount. So we got that one. And then the last one that we would want to do when we have that property set up on the deal, which I don't quite yet, is we're going to say the, let's see, service potential. We would copy that to the same thing here. Okay, that's not set up right now. So we'll have to get that, added. So I will, okay, making a note for myself to do that later. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. So we're just going to leave that. That's going to create that deal in the pipeline, and we're going to set that date for that close date. And then what we would also want to do is we also want to copy over when they're likely to engage, because then we can help to trigger some other workflows. All right, so all you would do to do that, which is pretty easy, is you go to all of your properties, and we could just take one of our properties here for the HubSpot account properties. So we could say those service potential. Okay, no. Okay, services potential, we could clone this, and then we can actually make that a deal property. And we'll just say deal information, take away the cloned. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. We'll create that. We're going to do it again. We'll go ahead and do, not create, sorry, we're copying. Hub's potential, we're going to clone that. Turn that into a deal property, deal information, done. And then the last one we're going to do is that engage date. We're going to clone that. And I'm actually going to add that to the deal just so we can see that happen and so that it's all set. So we're going to put that on a deal. Deal information. Okay, so now we can go back to this workflow. We can refresh it, and then we're actually going to copy over some additional properties here. So we're going to have services potential. Copy that to services potential. And then we're going to have hub potential. Copy that to hub's potential. Okay. And then the last thing we're going to do is that engage date. Okay. And we've got that workflow done, and that's going to create that deal for us. So now update marketing when the upsell renewal date is within X days. For this, I will do 60 days. Okay, so this could also be the renewal date as well, right? So we can also copy that over if we want to have a deal for the renewal. But for now, I'm going to focus on upsell and cross-sell. Okay, so now we're going to notify everybody when there is a renewal or upsell, cross-sell coming within 60 days. So we are going to go ahead and create the workflow. Okay, we're going to do a company-based workflow. We're going to call this step 6. Notify team of upsell renewal coming. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and say that when the HubSpot engagement date is less than 60 days from now, not 160. All right. So we can do this a few ways. We can send an in-app notification to the sales and marketing team, but we can also just send it to users. So we can go ahead and choose our account managers and CSMs and all of those people and our marketing leaders to know, as well as Director of Client Services, to know that we're going to say future opportunity coming in 60 days. We're going to do the company name, and then we'll just go ahead and save that. Oops, what do we need to change? Okay. Please look at the future deal record to see what potential services the client is likely to pursue. Please read notes. Look at website engagement and content scoring. Let's say HubSpot account record. Okay. There we go. Now we've got this set, and then we can also push this to Slack. Great. So we'll send a Slack notification to our channel. Oops. HubSpot crew. And new opportunity approaching in 60 days for, and we're going to go and get the company name. There we go. Okay. And we could also do this. As a HubSpot account object-based workflow as well if we wanted to. Okay, so that completes step 6. So we've notified the team. So now we're going to go on to the workflow that is in step 7. So in step 7, what we're going to do is task our CSMs to look into all tickets and comms to see if there's any frustration. So we're going to do this 30 days before. So we're going to say this is step 7. This is going to be Client Success Manager checks status. Okay? So then what we're going to go ahead and do here is we are going to go ahead and say that, and we can do this as a contact-based workflow. We can do it as company. We can do it as a deal. It doesn't really matter. So if we did it as contact-based, what we would do is we'd actually grab it from the deal instead of the HubSpot account record. So we're going to go that the deal property for engage is, oops, actually we cannot do what we need to do there when it is a contact-based record. That's right. So we actually need to make this a, we actually need to make it a different type. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the title here so I don't have to type that again. Delete this workflow. And let's do that one more time. So let's go ahead and do this as a company-based workflow. And we're going to go ahead and enroll it with the engage date is less than, and actually we want to do this at 30 days. 30 days from now. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to create a task for our CSM to review tickets and comms for account health check. And then we're going to go ahead and grab that company name. Please review the account and engage with the client accordingly. Satisfaction, and to check in on tool usage, etc. Okay, it's going to be a to-do. We're going to associate it with the associated deal records. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and assign a task to specific user. We can also do the owner because we will have a CSM owning this. So for now, we're just going to choose a specific person. And there we go. We've created a task. And then if we want to, we can also send him a message in Slack to a specific user to let him know the same thing. So we can go ahead and do that. Please, this will be 30-day pre-upgrade check-in for company name. Okay, so now we have step 7 done. And so, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and I will have a video tomorrow that's going to run through steps 8 through 12.